Hi ladies and gentlemen, this is Christelle Martinette with a new reading for the month of January 2018, which will be a 5-card spread using a tarot deck called Tarot of the Sacred Feminine, and you'll see that. And as clarifiers with the 5-card spread, I'll use a rather old VERA SIBILLA deck that I use sparingly because it is so old. And to crown that reading, I'll be using a set of runes, one of the first runes that I have ever had, which are emerald runes. This is all because I'm doing this before the holiday season. Now, in terms of the year spread, I'll be using a mini grand tableau, a Lenormand mini grand tableau. For those of you who read with the Lenormand will recognize these particular cards, and they have an explanation in English in the square, and the pictures are characteristic of the cards with the numbers here at the top. And the way I'll do that is I'll have I carve out an inner 4 by 4 rows of a grand tableau, so it will be a mini tableau. I won't go into the technical side and bore those people who don't read these cards, but we'll see. You'll see how it will work for each sign. Now, before I close and get on to the readings, I just wanted to say I know that this holiday season for many is a bit difficult, especially if you are alone or if you feel alone. I will be working during the holidays, unfortunately sometimes, yeah, I have to. So you may want to consider not simply a reading, but something that will go a little bit more in depth, like past life regression or some form of hypnosis. And consider that. If you're interested, write to me, go to my website, you'll get my contact, or you'll see it in this video clip underneath probably, or somewhere, and we'll see if we can set it up. All right, now I think I have nothing without further ado, as they say. Let's get on to the readings, ladies and gentlemen. Gemini. Hi Gemini, it's Christelle here for the month of January. Let's see what is in store for you for the month of January 2018. January 2018. January 2018. Well, interesting cards I have here. Let me show you. This is the 4, there it is, the 4 of Wands, 4 of Cups, Justice is the focus card, the Queen of Wands, and the 9 of Swords. Quite interesting here. I have a series of you, well, there are a good number of you who are undergoing legal issues, and that will be in the month of January, conditioning your days. Even though you do have a sense that you feel are going to undermine your sense of security. That's what's troubling you most. And it's taking its toll, these legal issues, or the threat of having legal issues. Okay, this could play out with a relationship or with a partnership on the job, something that is going to be dissolved. The threat of that is causing you to have difficulties in other areas of your life as well, emotional issues in other areas of your life with other relationships. Let me take the VERA SIBILLA here and see what is if I can get some more information. I'll go first of all over the Justice card, which is our focus. Yeah, okay. This is of course, these are general readings, and it won't pertain or resonate with everyone. This is Bambino Child, Ladro, Thief who speaks to negative change, and oops, and the Doctor, who also speaks of issues that can be conditioning you negatively. And here I have, for the legal issues, it has to do with a child custody. There is evidence being brought to bear concerning your state of mind and your ability to care for the person. And of course, these are general readings once again, but I have to say what I'm seeing. This is conditioning your days, and to tell you the truth, let's take a look at the Nine of Swords first and foremost. Well, not first, but second and foremost. I have conversazione, conversation, stanza, the communication, and innamorato, the love card. All right, now, female or male companionship, loved one. And this, of course, if it is playing out for you in terms of custody, there is the matter, you're having difficulty communicating with this person. And on an intimate level, you know, let's try to work it out. Let's try to work it out, Gemini, you're thinking, you know. I'm going to hold off on that just a second, because then the runes will come into, because you feel like your stability is going to be undermined. And for those of you who don't have this situation going on, I do see the beginning of legal issues taking root in the month of, this can be read, the Bambino, the child, as the beginning of legal issues being brought your way, being underway. Okay, I have the gran consolazione, the great consolation, fidelity and surprise, fedeltà, sorpresa. You know, the month comes in, is heralded in with this Four of Wands, where you do have this sense of security, and when you least expect it. All right, this surprise is a positive surprise, of course, when it's mirrored by this gran consolazione, but the Fourth of Wands is also mirroring the Nine of Swords, and it's not only, it is in your head, but there are issues that you need to face directly. And let me take the runes to see what they have to say. Okay, let's see, turn these over. Yeah, you would like to have the beginning of negotiations. You would like, it's going to be a difficult month. There is protection here with I Watts here, definitely. You do see things coming your way. And this Nine of Swords is a sort of a card that is telling you that you should be a little cautious. All right, but not to a fault. Because it will undermine other areas of your life. And Diag here over our Queen of Wands is also telling me that there's going to be a certain return. If you play your cards right, and if you do face the music, as they say in English, it is definitely going to work to your favor if the person is inclined to communicate with you on an open basis. Here I see, this is the month of January, Urus bright state, and Urus does tell us that Urus is such a very difficult rune to read, and it is here on the one side telling us, look, you cannot avoid the situation, irrespective of whether it has to do with custody or specific legal issues, but you cannot avoid what is happening to you the month of January. And you need to get to the root of that within yourself. What are my responsibilities? And even though you feel that there may not be the openness in communication with the person that you have to deal with, understand that the more you are able to go into depth in your responsibilities and the issues on the matter, the better it will be for you. All right, now let me take these up and start the reading. This was January, and now let me take these away and start the Lenormand reading for us. Okay, for 2018, Gemini. Let's see. Okay. Turns the cards around. Okay, now, the first 3 months, January, February, and March, there's suddenly, there's going to happen, something's going to happen quite suddenly, and you're not, like as we just read in March, you're not going to expect that. And it has to do with your relationship, a relationship that those of you who have one, and the steady relationship, an ongoing relationship. There will be third parties will show up. Many different things it could play out in many different ways, but there definitely is an energy there that has to do with wanting. One of the parties is going to want to dissolve the relationship, and one of the parties is going to want to maintain. In Italian, they say to save what is salvable, and what they want to do is try to and embrace a sort of friendship for the best of everyone. And this is the first 3 months of the year. The second 3 months, April, May, and June, I have here where the load is lifted. There's your load is starting to be lifted. You definitely feel the winds are blowing your way, and you become more astute as to how you should react and enact with a person, and engage with that person. Those 3 months, April, May, and June, will see you more of a person who can act as a leader, as a model. You can be the guide, the leader. You can suggest, you can offer solutions for the difficulties that you are having. And, you may even go so far as to suggest, perhaps even in a last attempt at saving the salvageable, what can we learn from each other? Let's take a break. Let's take time out for ourselves and see if we can understand what is happening to our lives. The third quarter, July, August, and September, I see this this movement. There is a vacation of some sort, or travel for many of you. I see travel in terms of those who want to start a new business, and I see talk of again revisiting the notion of the relationship. Here, there's this come and go in and out of a relationship that is causing you even legal problems in the month of January, and you are dealing with that, and there is a very passionate pull in terms of, I'm going to lower the volume here, there's a passionate pull in terms of this person, because you feel that, and as many of us do, when you see something slip away from you, you understand the value that it has and that it holds for us. And you will definitely start to think again and talk again of remaining together. Okay, and if this doesn't pan out in the emotional realm of your life, it definitely will in the work area, because of partnerships in the work area. And just a second, I was saying just a second, my phone started ringing. I always forget to turn down the volume, and I started hearing this song, you know. Now we're in the fourth quarter, October, November, and December. And what do we have here? We have a situation that, you know, in Italian we say la resa dei conti. It's now or never. This is where we take decisions. This is where we come together or we grow apart. And it's you're going to be faced at the end of the year with a not knowing actually how things, there's not going to be any decision made either way. You're not knowing. You'll be unsure of how things will develop in the partnership. You, Gemini, do want to stay together. But you do want to do it. You've understood that it's not only a matter of desire to stay together. You need a plan. You need a form of two things. One is a strategy to propose, and another is the feeling of financial security that you definitely need. But it is, you know, towards the end of the year, you will feel bear the burden of that and not knowing. So that will be a bit difficult for you. Now I'm going to look at the different areas of your life. For example, the endings and the beginnings. I'm seeing that something very, there is going to be an ending. All right, that is definitely the case. It's going to be clean and clean cut. There's not going to be any bloodshed, all right? So that is important. The surprise element in your life for the year 2018 has to do with security, has to do with stability, has to do with your job being given you regain importance on the job. It creates more stability for you. Also, the endings do imply a relationship. So, you know, get ready for that. Get ready for that during the year. Communication. The communication is not always going to be the actual talking and making decisions together is not going to be the best for the year 2018. There's going to be a division, definitely. And your work and livelihood, like I just said, there's going to be a great sense of safety, security. That will be your safety net. The sense of security is going to far outweigh any other area of your life in 2018. You're going to be guided to develop, make a qualitative jump, go places. You're going to be guided toward moving on. In the true sense of the word moving on, even traveling, you may decide to go elsewhere from where you are currently. Your home, the males of you, Gemini, especially will want to find their own sense of home, their own sense of what they can call their home. And the area of public life sees you having to deal with institutions. Okay, and this can play out in terms of the legal issues that you have, but definitely there will be you in relation to institutions at different levels. Could be if you have a job in an institution, you will be awarded a promotion. Also, the obstacles are problems which will give you a moment of growth. And even though they present themselves as obstacles, like the legal problems that you may have, they will actually be moments where you can come away safely by having learned something and making personal growth. Healing, there's a healing process underway. Decisions that have to be made are going to be the fruit of discussion with others. But sometimes it will be heated discussion. As I said, the communication may be difficult throughout the year. The problems and nuisances that you have to face are those that concern the unknown. what you don't know, what you cannot count on. How will they take my suggestion? How will they? So everything that is out of your hands is going to create for you a point of anxiety. And now, those things that are hidden away from you are what other people feel towards you and who you can count on. You have a feeling during the year 2018 that you're not sure of who you can count on during the year. And the way, and you know that to counteract the difficulties in communication that you will be experiencing, you understand that you need to take a strategy, take a strategic look at what is going on. See how things have been developing in communication. What can I change in order for the communication to be more seamless? That's going to be required of you. Now, the male influence, your animus in your life, the male influence in your life, your male side as well, has to do with you bringing abundance to yourself on a personal basis, not having to do with your main area of work, your main area of your livelihood, but what comes to you personally. And it has to do with your rational side and the way you rationalize things that occur to you. The female influences in your life are those which give you a cross to bear, right? Anything, all of your emotions are going to be difficult for you the year of 2018. That's the area that will be your greatest concern, because it will be whereas you have your work that is going in full bloom and very highly developed, very interesting for you, positive success, here your emotions are going to suffer the most, Gemini. I do hope this was of help to you, Gemini, and have a great holiday season and Happy New Year. I'll be back in January. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be back. Bye-bye.